session. And it's good to see everyone. Hello for our weekly Tongren healing session. My name is Joseph Lucier. We're here for our treatments for people all over the world. This is the Tongren Tam healing system, and we will be doing our therapy for different people. If you have any issues or conditions you'd like to enter, either through our website, anusarwellness.com, or through our Facebook, Anusar Wellness Facebook page, or through Anusar Wellness, as you are seeing us at this very moment. So we have a 3-part process of Tongren. We're actually teaching the advanced Tongren therapy, which is if people have any experience at all with Tongren, they can jump in. But we'd like to see everyone we can. And we will begin right now with our 3-part process to open up the healing. And our goal is basically to remove a blockage of bioelectricity, opening up the unlimited resources of the body. So here we go. Blood flow to the brain. Our first request is perfect blood and Chi for Lar for strong immune system and fertility as well. Blood flow to the brain. So our 3-part process, number 1, to initialize the blood flow to the brain. So I always do a check-in. Can people hear me and see me okay? So we do this as a mental focus. We are connecting by the collective unconscious, as well as the communication and link of the open heart of compassion. Command points of the brain as we approach and work with perfect blood, lymph, and strong immune system. And let me look up to see if we got one more person here with our messages. Hopefully the messages came through. Nope, I guess those people are not using an iPhone. Everything is connected as long as you're connected to the universe of iPhones. So let me take a quick look at the texts for people. And also I'll make some announcements. We have our quarterly Okay, so we will do a shout out for Esther. Fingers, bladder, strength, and WZBC question, and sinus, chest as before. And let's see. And Catherine. Interstitial fluid. And swelling and vein work. And BP. Merci beaucoup aussi pour vous. And there we go, everyone. Welcome to our multitasking. So we'll continue down. We did part 1, blood flow to the brain. Brain command points, then brain stem command points. D'accord. Très bien. Blood flow to the brain and the spine. So we always work on blood flow and nerve flow, which is more effective than just opening up a nerve blockage. So let's work on perfect blood. T for perfect blood, starting with T1. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for inflammation and the lymph. And in French, omelette du fromage, quel dommage. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. And additionally for blood, we want to work on the spleen, backup support for blood. T3 for the lymph and T7 for the lymph. The largest lymph node of the body, the spleen. Microbiome, so T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8 for Laura as well. And the immune system of the microbiome, T11, T12, L4, L5, which is also good for fertility. I would definitely, for the fertility, castor oil pack on the belly. That will help a lot. Ideally, do it overnight. Clay baths, castor oil packs, adaptogenic herbs. Always consult your doctor, but those would be some of my recommendations. And again, for the perfect blood, so we're working on the bone marrow. GB39 upside and up above the ankle for additional bone and bone marrow. And for perfect blood and fertility, we'll use the craniosacral fluid, GB789 for the sphenoid bone area. And I'm presuming that you can see and hear me okay, is that right? Talkative 1, we see worldly newcomer. Sore throat for the cough. Esther, I got you. Timid specimen. Can't stay awake. Okay, we'll get to all of these shortly. So, craniosacral fluid, GB789. And the tailbone, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Try to get a better angle for you guys here on Instagram, my Instagram buddies. And a little bit like that. So you can see me again, T1 for the bones, L3 for the fertility, pituitary, and L3 for the fertility. Definitely a castor oil pack would be a good option. Castor oil pack, I think it was this morning I read about castor oil packs for interstitial fluid issues as well. and grounding, fertility, CV6 and CV4, the area for a castor oil pack. And grounding liver 3 and kidney 1. Anybody here other than Catherine on Facebook? And hello, Calm Specimen and Eric and Esther. So let's work with blood pressure for Les and Esther for bladder strength, finger swelling, previously sinus and chest areas, and overall pain. Command points of the brain, command points of the brain stem, GV17 for blood pressure. So the blood flow and nerve flow, so occiput area. And as an announcement, I will not be here next week. This is kind of the first vacation, not too long, 11 years, not too bad. But you will be able to play the replay, which will be very good. So I'm going to include everyone today, and you can play the replay next week for sure. T123478 for overall pain and immune boosting for Esther. Also reducing inflammation, support the blood pressure. And hello, Christine. Nice to see you. Work on the microbiome. So T7 for the blood flow in the lower extremities for Esther. And S1 to 5 for the bladder. Also T123478, anti-inflammation and the nerve flow. So vertebral artery and brachial plexus vein, nerves to the fingers. And again, blood pressure for less. GV17, galvaning vessel number 17. Still, while I'm in going for my vacation, visit some friends in Central America, just for a week. T123478 again for Esther. brachial plexus for the nerves, lumbosacral plexus for the hips, and grounding to the legs, liver 3 and kidney 1. Also CV 4 and 6 also for the bladder, and then the ouch point for the fingers themselves directly. And for less, a bonus, the ouch point, T11, T12 for the ribs. And for people interested in this weekend, the Be Your Own Healer Masterclass, seats still available. Looks like we have a good group, international. Yep. CV17, CV4, stomach 36 for energy, liver 3, and kidney 1. It's great to see everyone. We are getting something that's very unusual here in Boston. It's called snow, but it'll be gone soon. Blood flow to the brain. So we see timid specimen, intrigue settler, can't stay awake, Allison, hormones, flash, both eyes, C7, shoulder to breast on right, under armpit, Paindur. So for the can't stay awake, we work on the pineal gland. Sounds like people are signing in to the workshop as we speak. So this Saturday, 1 to 5, welcome. Command points of the brain for Allison, hypothalamus, pituitary. Let's work on the limbic system. Hello, Kim. Nice to see you. Craniosacral fluid to also balance out the brain. Sphenoid bone to the tailbone. Tailbone 1, 2, 3, and 4. Hormones, again GV20 and C3 for the eyes. And Allison, you might need a specific diagnosis for posterior vitreous detachment to see, to make sure. We want to avoid ulcers. We want to alkalize, so a product called pH Adjust, bicarbonate of soda, baking soda kind of thing. And we will be working with C7 to the breast on the right, under the armpit, painful. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. C7 to the right shoulder and the right armpit, which is heart 1, right side. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Lumbar 1 to 5. Microbiome for the gut and to avoid ulcers, fermented foods. Rule out Epstein-Barr virus infections. Lumbar 1 to 5. And grounding. Vagus nerve, gut-brain axis, also good for ulcers. GB12, CB12. Okay, blood flow to the brain. C1 to C7. Sore throat, so it's got a window. Throat chakra. Something great for the throat. They are gummies. They're with oregano and black seed oil. You chew them, they create a sublingual, basically an herbal antibiotic, and they're really good. And clogged sinuses. Another great tip for the cough and clogged sinuses: take an 8-ounce glass of water, put in a couple of dashes of cayenne pepper, and swish it in your mouth constantly. For a few minutes, a few times a day. That will undrain your sinuses. And we will work on C3 for your sinuses as well. Two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Anti-inflammation. And welcome for Augustina and everyone as well. So the sinuses, C3, C4, and the eyes and the sinuses, those are all connected. Good AV, thank you. Anti-inflammation for the sinuses, immune boosting for the sinuses. Of course, there's always the classic, a steam bowl with a towel. So we have a steam tent. Fill it, add a few drops of. So in the steam bowl, with a towel, a steam tent, you add a few drops of lavender or eucalyptus. I think is even better for sinuses and phlegm, and then steam that into the nasal area and the sinus areas. And welcome, Jacqueline. On Mondays, I got to come to your class, 6 o'clock. I'm going to start doing that. Monday is a great class with Jacqueline and Yvonne. I think it's mostly Jacqueline. At 6 p.m. through Tongren Station. I highly recommend it. Hello. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. Microbiome, T11, T12, L4, L5 for the immune system. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. So next we work with healing energy for Augustina, who's our superhero. She has a some growth on her brainstem, which seems to have stabilized quite well, which is great. And we all want Augustina to do super. Let's look to the brain. And we'll also do a full emotional tune-up for Worldly Newcomer. And Jacqueline, we can get together when you're free, first week of March or whatever. I know you're quite busy. We'll hang out, we'll do an interview together. And ideally, she'll tell us everything that she's doing to save the world as well. That is Jacqueline and Yvonne on Mondays. So for Augustina, we focus on the brainstem, 3 blood supplies, facial artery, 4 blood supplies, facial artery, carotid artery, vertebral artery, and occipital artery. Everything to support the brain stem and work directly on the brain stem area, GV17 for Augustina. She's doing well. There we go. That's all we can ask for. And for an emotional tune-up, and for the brain area, also for Augustina both, GB13 right side, GB13 left side. In Tong third eye area for connecting to our true selves, to have a better relationship with our emotional self. In Tong area for emotional tune-up. And of course, it's all in the gut, so we do the gut-brain axis. So we do GB12, vagus nerve, CV12, solar plexus, gut-brain axis. Catherine will work on the eyes, interstitial fluid, GV17. Vein health, GV17. Catherine, an extra boost for your hypnosis training. T123478. Aviento. Another thing we can all look into, there's a bioelectricity master, Dr. Halterwanger, who wrote the master paperwork and white papers on bioelectricity. He now has these small little tape type things which have crystals, which means the infrared light coming from the body hits the crystal and recycles back to create stem cells in the body. Sounds quite amazing. Sort of like urotherapy. Our own urotherapy can create stem cells in our own bodies. T123478, also for Augustina. And the liver for the eyes as well. Double thanks. Right back at you. And grounding. Oh, while we were chatting, 442. Oh, I didn't see that. Yep, just checking that message. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1 for everyone. Then we will work with talkative 1. Optic nerve, so let's make sure we get all this correct. Tap for my mom. I think that is someone named Varus in Croatia. To heal and regenerate optic nerve for your mom. Create a better blood flow in her head and optic nerve. And also tap for talkative 1 yourself. Discomfort in upper chest, sometimes low oxygen, feeling nausea and weakness, waking up, breathing fast. Okay, that's a lot to talk about. We can actually talk quite a bit about that. That's really important. So let's work first with the optic nerve, blood flow to the brain, ouch point for the eyes. Nerves for the eyes, C3, C4. Cranial nerves for the optic nerve, GV23, 24. Ouch point for the eyes, GV17 for the eyes. And blood flow, so we max out on the blood flow. 1 is carotid artery, sky window. vertebral artery, for the head, and occipital artery. Three main areas. So let's talk about the breath. Discomfort in the chest, upper chest, sometimes low oxygen. So the breathing techniques which are really good for that are the medium and slower breathing techniques. There are three: fast, medium, and slow. Fast, balanced, and slow. So when you have longer, slower breathing, longer exhales, it will activate the parasympathetic nervous system relaxation response. It will give more oxygen capacity and oxygen uptake for your lungs as well. Nausea and weakness. Waking up, breathing fast. So again, let's work on that from Tongren. Blood flow to the brain. Hypothalamus for the nervous system, bioelectricity command center, hypothalamus. At night, we talked about this before, Faris, if that is you. Sleep tape at night or a jaw closer at night. Let's work on the Tongren points. Lung 1, lung 2 from the front. T3 for the lungs from the back. There's a formulation for AFib, which I'm not diagnosing you with AFib at all. But to balance out the heartbeats is the chemistry, sodium, magnesium, potassium, and vitamin D. Those things can also balance out your heart rhythms. So let's work on the microbiome as well for the nausea and the weakness. And the diaphragm. Sounds like the diaphragm is not as active as we would like. So CV17, put the laser on CV17 would be a good option for you as well. And the relaxator, as we've discussed before. CV4 for the nausea and weakness as well. So let's see that StreamYard notice. So the best way to do that is so you can see me. So something going on with the announcement. Oh, something got thrown on there by accident. Let me know if that works better, Scott. You should be able to see my hands now. I sit back. Thank you for the reminder. And see you this weekend. That got turned on by accident. And grounding liver 3 and kidney 1. Might even be liver yang rising. So liver 1, 2, and 3. GB 38. And kidney 1. So the balanced breathing and slow breathing, different breathing techniques to increase oxygen capacity, to activate the parasympathetic nervous system, to increase oxygenation by balancing out carbon dioxide, which is the Bohr's effect, to increase oxygenation of the body. Low oxygen is not low oxygen. We get plenty of oxygen through the air. The air is 21% oxygen. We only need, like, I forget what it is, 16% or 25% of that, something like that. And then it's all about the carbon dioxide, which is a co-factor for releasing oxygen from the hemoglobin into the body. So it's all about carbon dioxide, which is technically a side effect of the cellular respiration process. So let's see where we are, if anybody else has any other requests. Blood flow to the brain. Calm creature. So detox, adrenal health, and SIBO. I'll give you my recommendations. Detox is with clay. We're in the middle of a process right now, a 2-week clay detoxification process. We do it by group and community support, which is more powerful, but it's primarily focused around herbs and clay for 2 weeks to actually get deep tissue detoxification. Number 2, adrenal health. Adaptogenic herbs to balance out the adrenals, and of course reducing stress, relaxation, oxygenation techniques as well. SIBO, small intestine bacterial overgrowth, probiotics, yoga. Despair is related to SIBO because the gut, the microbiome, is where we produce happy hormones. And that's where we need to generate them so we keep the microbiome happy. So, fermented foods, probiotics, gut shots, natto, kimchi, all those things would be a great idea for you, and a high fiber diet. Those are my recommendations. Command points to the brain, brain stem, pituitary for adrenal health, pituitary hypothalamus to balance out the adrenals. So probably adrenal exhaustion is what I'm guessing. Anti-inflammation, detox, T4 for the skin, T9 right side for the liver, microbiome T11, T12, L4, L5. And hello, timid specimen. See if we have any further requests. Christine, Kim, good to see you. Everybody should be just breathing through the nose. A good tip is to count to 4 slowly on your inhale through the nose. Count to 8 slowly on the exhale of your nose. That is a relaxation response. And great user, what part of the world are you in? And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. And again, microbiome, T11, T12, L4, and L5 for SIBO. And CV4, great place for the laser if you're using the laser for your therapy. So great user, if you give me some more insight where you're located. And grounding to liver 3 and kidney 1. So, Allison, I saw your request. We worked on it already, which you could not sleep and different things like that. And we worked on the lungs and the lymph and the immune system and balance hormones and flashing eyes. We did get that. I hope you heard us, and we will do it. We will reinforce it right now. So blood flow to the brain. I know you're having problems staying awake, so you might have missed us. So let's do it again. So, and from great user, 9-year-old son, detox medications. So are they detox medications, or you want to detox from the medications? And perfect blood to heal from leukemia, white blood cell, red blood cell fluctuating, so we'll work on the bone marrow. And 18-month-old Ashika. So welcome from Nepal. So if everybody could say hello to our friends in Nepal at the moment, it's very, very early in the morning there, I think. So thank you and we will work on all of these. Thank you for joining us. And how did you hear about us? You're coming from Nepal. Blood flow to the brain. So anyone detoxing from medications or vaccines or any of those things, juicing, clay baths, those types of things are good for detoxification from medications and vaccines. Blood flow to the brain. Yep, I thought so. 5:30 a.m. You're up early, so please join us every week. We'll work on all of these things. So detoxing from the medications, castor oil packs, clay, if you have these things available where you are. Perfect blood, T1 to the bone marrow for leukemia. T1 is the main point. We also want to nourish the bone marrow through craniosacral therapy, craniosacral fluid as we use. T1 for the bones, GB39 for the bones. Facebook user. So the best place for clay is a company in Oregon, Vitality Herbs and Clay. vitalityherbsandclay.com, Michael King. So let's work on detoxification from here. And castor oil packs, basically a 2-part process. Remove toxins with clay, I'll pull them out with clay, increase the circulation of the lymph with the castor oil. So let's work for Ashika growth, GB20, pituitary. and 13 pounds, T11, T12, L4, L5. Let's work on the urine and the stool, lumbosacral plexus. Definitely the castor oil pack for the 13-year-old as well. Get things moving. It increases blood flow and lymph flow. And for autism and speech, the Broca and Wernicke areas, the left side of the brain. Sensory collection. Welcome from Nepal. Yes, I agree. Can't move, so let's work on all the nerves. For Ashika, work on the brain for speech, pituitary for growth hormones. Can't move either side. Brachial plexus, hypothalamus, pituitary. And also integrate with Allison again, C3 for the eyes, ouch point for the eyes, GV20, C7 to the shoulders, which would be the brachial plexus to the shoulders, also good for the child that can't move either side. So, nerves, sensory cortex, motor cortex of the brain, brachial plexus of the shoulders, lumbosacral plexus for the legs. Can't move either side, no speech. So let's really have in our prayers Sanjay and Ashika. Again, C7 and the ulcer, the microbiome for Allison, T11, T12, L4, L5. It is in India, they have castor, C-A-S-T-O-R. It's a bean. It might be under a different name. In Ayurveda, for sure, it's in Ayurvedic medicine. I will look up castor oil in Ayurvedic medicine. It's a bean. I think it's called velvet bean, unless that's Mucuna, but in Ayurveda, castor, yes, castor oil. It's a bean. T1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8. And the boy in New York is fine. It was complicated. The mom had issues with the delivery, and unfortunately the mom passed away. Something happened in the delivery. In a coma. A medically induced coma. And she never recovered. So, castor oil pack on the belly, CV4, detoxification for the autism. Look up the website, Children Defense by Kennedy. More information on autism. Kennedy from the Boston area, actually, of the Kennedy clan. CV4. And grounding to liver 3, liver 1, 2, and 3, kidney 1. So there are different kinds of clay. There are bentonite clays, but a medical grade clay is from Vitality Herbs and Clay in Oregon. I use 4 programs for people. Castor oil packs, they are binders. They pull out heavy metals. Other types of binders are fruit pectin, cilantro, chlorella, and of course sea vegetables. They pull toxins out of the body. And grounding in liver 3 and kidney 1. And email me if you like with more questions. It's joe@anusarwellness.com. Yes, Happy Mama, the castor oil packs on the belly for fertility, and that area that will be greatly enhanced. It's actually a thing to help with that. For the lower back area, L3, focus, yoga, upward dog, downward dog. The Tibetan rites would be a great exercise for her to do as well. So we do a chi for everyone. Take a nice deep breath through the nose, out through the nose. Yes, I won't be here next week because I don't know about the stability and reliability of where I'm going. It is sort of off the grid, so I can't make a commitment this trip, but maybe next trip. The recording will be there for everyone. There is a possibility I may jump on Instagram. Don't know, can't guarantee. Next week. But we covered everything in here. The replay is as effective as the live play. So hi, why does it keep doing that? Blessings to everyone. Thank you for staying. Best wishes to all of you. Augustina, our friends in Nepal, New York, Massachusetts, Allison, everyone. Thank you very much for joining. Blessings to all of you. And we will play an entrainment. But keep coming. Welcome again, like I say, from Nepal, to join us next time. We'll play this tone for entrainment of clearing for the space. Blessings to all of you, and please watch the replay for your specific conditions. It will be good for you. And I will see you all when I return. Thank you very much.